Hey, Julissa, how's it going?
Hey Farhan, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. Things are good. Just had a good day today. Didn't go out at all today, unfortunately, because it was
Why
raining.
not? Today is Halloween for you.
I know, but I have Colingo and it's raining, so it's not a good day to be out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't buy any chocolate
Here
or
when
anything for anybody.
oh, here when I was coming from work, I've been walking for all the avenue that is near my house, and almost all the kids have been with their um, costumes. How do you
Hmm.
call it?
With their costumes,
With
yeah?
their yeah, asking for candy. So it's nice. There were some little kids that were in costumes of oranges or princess. They are cute.
Yeah, princesses are the most common for girls. I remember when I was, I think, 5 or 6 years old, I was Superman, and then the next year after that, I was Batman. Just all these different superheroes.
Superhero.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
it's
my
kind of
my brother,
crazy.
I remember him. Yeah, but it's part of the. It's when you are a child, it's like an illusion that you have to wear your costume, to go out, to receive candy.
Exactly, exactly. And we felt so empowered. We felt so powerful that day because sometimes, you know what feels even more powerful is if you when the little kids try to scare an adult and the adult acts scared. That's the best
Uh,
because the kids think that they're actually scaring everybody. So that's it's funny.
yeah.
It's funny stuff. But is it popular to have kids trick or treat in Peru and in South America?
I don't know if in other countries, but here, yes. I think this is an influence from the American culture,
Uh-huh.
and especially for kids. Yeah, kids, they ask their parents to buy them their costumes. They want to go out. But here, the funny thing is that kids don't go and tell trick or treat. They just go and say Halloween, 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 and
That's
then
funny.
the owners of the stores or uh, the people who is ready, they give them candies.
Uh-huh. So do they go from house to house or do they go from store to store in Lima, for example?
They, they mostly go to stores. Yeah.
Really?
That
Okay.
is not the tradition. Yeah, because in houses, no, the people is not so used to give candies. It's more from the stores,
Yeah, that makes sense because here
supermarkets.
here it's 100% houses. People come to the kids come to each house and they ring the bell and then when the person opens the door, they say trick or treat. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I've seen
Yeah.
that in the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Really nice.
It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fun. Some parents, like my mom, was very she's very concerned about children and they if they eat sugary snacks and bad food. So she used to give them different kinds of like nutritious like little bars, like little nutritious bars. And then she tried that one year. The next year, nobody came to the house. I, I guess all the kids told each other avoid that house because the lady gives you fruits and nuts instead of
Oh my,
chocolate. So they all
yeah.
avoided my house. I think this year my mom, or since that time, my mom always gives candy, but she doesn't like that kids are buying or eating so much candy maybe in one day. I mean, I don't know. I did it when I was a kid.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's once a year, so yeah.
it's fine. Yeah. I don't know why she's crazy like that. Sometimes she gets crazy and she's very health conscious. No, I'm going to buy these kids, nutritious snacks. No, it's not going to work.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Gregory, how's it going?
Hello, Farhan. Hello, Elisa. Nice to see
Hello,
you.
Gregory.
Nice to
Yeah,
see you.
good to see you as well.
It's interesting about this Halloween. We don't have
Yeah.
we have something like that. Purim, Jewish Purim.
Purim. Yeah, I've heard about Purim, but there's no costumes, right?
Yes, it's costumes.
Oh, it has costumes as well. Oh,
Yes, it's terrible costumes.
terrible costumes. How are they terrible?
Very terrible.
Let me see what Purim is about. Oh, terrible. Maybe because they're historic. Are they?
Yes, it's historic, is Attic tradition.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right. So I think that's a picture right there. Maybe Teatro Żydowski, something like that.
Yes, we make celebrate some show.
Uh-huh. Oh, this is really funny. This is a great costume also. This is in the street of Jerusalem here. Hey, Marcelo, I see your comment. Yeah, that video was a real doozy. I don't know how Marcelo is talking to us when he's not in class. That's actually pretty kind of cool. Um, so yeah, this is really interesting. And when is Purim again, Gregory? I forgot the day of when it takes place.
In the year, it's maybe in different date.
Uh-huh. Usually, I think though it happens in what month is it? The 14th day of Adar.
Maybe March, April.
Yeah, March or April possibly. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it says sunset on 15th of March to nightfall of 16th of March this next year.
This celebration, Jewish drink, it's one day in the year when Jews can drink a lot.
Oh wow, really?
To lose sense.
Uh-huh. That's very interesting. Cool, cool. Awesome, Gregory. Thanks for sharing this. Marcelo, professor, tudo beleza?
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Good, good.
Estou bem. E você? Tudo bem com você?
Tudo bem, tudo bem.
Portuguese is good.
I know, I love Portuguese. I just have to start learning it now. That's why I sent you that video, Marcelo, because I was so interested in a lot of our conversations. We've talked about, you know, corruption in Brazil, and those guys from Porta dos Fundos made a really funny video.
Porta dos Fundos.
Those guys are hilarious. They're so funny.
Sorry.
No, it's so true. No, Gregory and Julissa, what I did was earlier today I found a YouTube video of this group in Brazil, a group of young people. They make these videos about society, about everything in society, from, you know, education, unemployment, what kids do when they're on a date, you know, all the funny things in society. And there was a very funny video about, there was a politician who was about to start his ad, like his campaign ad, and he started to say, like, if you want the best person for the job, then you should elect someone who knows what he's doing, right? And then he says, he just keeps laughing because everything he's saying is, you know, serious. Like, I want to help the education, I want to help healthcare, I want to help old people. As soon as he says old people, he starts laughing because what he's saying is so ridiculous. He's later on in the video, he's saying that it's his third term as a politician, and he hasn't done anything for old people. So why is he talking about old people now? You know?
Did you understand everything that he said?
Well, I used subtitles, Marcelo.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not understand any of the Portuguese, but they had subtitles, and it was very funny video, but it was very eye-opening at the same time because, you know, these guys were making fun of politicians in a very creative way, and yeah, it's very, very fun. If you guys want to check out the channel, it's called Porta dos Fundos in YouTube. And they have subtitles in English, so when you
Your
click them,
accent is funny.
they are crazy. They're one of the most hilarious groups I've seen in my life, and very, very creative too. So creative.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Well, awesome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Today we have an interesting class for you guys. The first part, we're going to talk about something that's fairly easy. I think all of you guys will have a very good idea of what contractions are. In the second part of the lesson, we're going to be talking about a funny kind of article in which animals are now being used in the drug trade, right? So when you have, for
Drug trade.
example, yeah, the drug trade. So, for example, selling marijuana, selling cocaine, the international drug market is now using animals to do their to do the transportation of
Okay.
some of these drugs. So it's a small example. What we're going to read about is a small example, but I think it's going to open the door to understanding more about how this is a bigger fight, that I don't think these enemies can be stopped. They have a lot. Um, so before we get started then, guys, I wanted to ask a simple question, which was, if you guys could give me a few examples of contractions in English. Contractions are when we make a word smaller than it is. So, for example, the words I am become I'm, right? So I'm from the state of Wisconsin, is smaller than I am from the state of Wisconsin, right?
I'm sure. I'm sure that you are gonna learn Portuguese.
I'm sure you're going to learn Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's a great example, right? Julissa, what about you, if you want to give an example of a contraction?
It'll be sunny tomorrow.
It'll be sunny tomorrow. Fantastic. And what is it'll a contraction of?
It will.
It will, right? Fantastic. So it will becomes it'll. It'll be a sunny day tomorrow, right? Fantastic. And Gregory, what's another example?
Um, mm, don't.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Don't, right? And what is don't a contraction of?
Do not.
Do not, right? Fantastic. Don't, right? Marcelo, you used I am. You said I'm. Can you think of another one?
I'd have bought the shoe if I had the money.
Uh-huh. I
I'd bet. I'd bought. No,
I'd
yeah,
bought.
I'd bought. I'd bought.
I'd well, you'd say I'd buy, right?
Yeah,
Or
I'd buy. I would buy. I would buy.
I
Yeah,
would
I'd
buy,
buy.
yeah, right? So I would becomes I'd, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I would buy a pair of shoes if I had the money.
yeah.
I'd buy a pair of shoes if I had money, right? Fantastic. So I would becomes I'd. Thinking about this another way, right? Many times in English, we use contractions that are simply a smaller form of the word because we don't like to say the full form of the phrase, right? We're just lazy. That's just how it is. Uh, the most common ways of saying contractions in English, I would say, are any of the verbs that we see. So, for example, the verb to be, right? I am becomes I'm. You are becomes, what does you are become, guys?
Your.
Your, right?
Yeah,
Like that,
your.
right? Like you're from Brazil, right? You're from Brazil, so you are from Brazil becomes you're, right? Well, Yulisa, what about he, she, it is? What did those become?
They become she's, his, it's.
Fantastic, right? He's, she's, and it's, right? Uh, Gregory, what about we are and they are? What did those become?
We're there.
Fantastic, right? We're there, right? So we're about to go to the party, right? We are about to go to the party. They're already here, right? They are already here. They're already here.
They're already here. They're. It's the same sound of there. Uh,
Exactly.
it's it's uh, it's there,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, so there are three forms, right? So it's there, and there. They all have the same sound,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So they're at the party. This is their car, and look over there. You know,
Yeah,
all three of those theirs have the exact same spelling or exact same pronunciation, but they have different spellings, right? So that's what makes it difficult sometimes, right? That's why pronunciation is actually very important in English. Even though we have the same pronunciation for these three words, we still have to be, careful when we use them because we don't want to confuse anybody. So that's the verb to be, right? Um, Similar thing can be said about the verb I have or I had or the verb have and had, right? So what would be Julissa? What are the forms for have for I, you, he, she, it, they, and we?
I have, I,
Uh-huh. What about the other ones? Give me all of them.
I have, he has, his, she
Uh-huh.
has, she's, they have, they,
Uh-huh.
it has, it's, no,
Uh-huh.
it's,
Well, it has something. Yeah, it's got a nice melody. People say that. It's got a nice melody. For
it's,
example, you're talking about a song. It's got a nice tune. It's got a nice melody.
okay.
Have you heard that before? Maybe that's new.
No, I didn't remember.
Uh-huh. No, we can use have does have some forms. So we can say I have becomes I've, right? You have becomes you've, like you've gone to the store. You have gone to the store, you've gone to the store, right?
I've told you. Yeah,
Yeah, I've told you already, right? Something like that. I've told you already. He, she, it, right? He has. So he has.
his
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, exactly. You guys are right. I'm just trying to think of an example.
his
Uh,
book. Ah, okay. Sorry.
yeah. No, that's fine. For example, he has the book already. He's. Oh man, that's good. He's got the book already. Oh no, how about this? He has already received the book. He's already received the book, right? So he's, she's, right? Now it's is a good one, right? Julissa, I'm trying to think. It has already been made, for example, right? Or it has been prepared. It's been
It
prepared.
has been raining. It's
Yeah,
been raining.
yeah, right? Fantastic. It has been raining. It's been raining, right? What about Okay, so they and we already have it's we've, and then for they it's already they've, right? They've gone to the park already, right? They have gone to the park already, they've gone to the park already, right? So we have those for have. What is another very popular word that we use or verb that we have contractions for? I'm trying to think here. Hmm.
Can,
Can, right?
can,
What are the forms for can, Gregory?
cannot, can't,
Uh-huh. Cannot and can, right? So I can, he can, she can, whatever. And then what is the contraction of cannot?
can't.
Can't, right? Fantastic. So this really is, I think, the only big form of that, right? I can't do something, I cannot do something. And then we'd already said does not becomes doesn't, right? So that's another example. Hey, Laura, how's it going?
Hello, I'm fine.
Cool. We're talking contractions, Laura. Can you think of a few contractions in English? We're just brainstorming. So we looked at some verbs for have, for the verb to be, for the verb cannot, or yeah, exactly, for the verb cannot. What about some other ones? Let's see. Okay, how about that? I just said one, right? Let's. We say let's a lot, right? Let us. get started. Let's get started, right? So a lot of these words, let's get started, right? Let us becomes let's. I'm trying to think of a couple more good examples before I ask you guys to make some questions or make some sentences for us. What about the future tense, guys? How do we make the future tense contractions?
I will, I'll,
Uh-huh. And then the other ones are?
I would, I.
What about for you, he, she, it?
I'm going. I'm gonna.
Yeah. So
Gonna to go.
yeah, going to go or going to becomes gonna, right? So we'll do will first, right? So for will in the future tense, it becomes I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, will, and they'll, right? Very confusing. Very confusing when I look at it in terms of the pronunciation. Can you guys each form a sentence with one of these contractions, guys? For the will, I want to hear your pronunciation in this example because it's very interesting. I want to make sure we're pronouncing it correctly. So let's make some. Go ahead, Marcelo. Yeah.
You're gonna be here tomorrow.
You're gonna be here tomorrow. Fantastic, right? But let's make one with will.
Will.
Right? Yeah, with any of these will words, right? Any one of the forms of will. Let's make a sentence.
Dale. Dale. How do you
Yeah.
pronounce it?
See how the pronunciation is crazy, right? Dale.
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 Uh-huh.
Dale.
There.
Dale. They'll dance
Dale.
from dusk to dawn.
They'll dance from dusk to dawn. Fantastic, right? They'll dance from dusk to dawn. Laura, can you give me one with she'll?
She'll will write a song.
She'll arrive at when? I'm sorry?
She'll write a song. Write a song.
What's the last word, Laura? I'm sorry.
A song.
I don't know what that is, unfortunately. She'll. I feel really bad. She'll write. Oh, she'll write a song. I'm sorry, Laura. I thought we were. I thought we were saying ride, like she'll be riding some kind of some animal or something. I'm sorry. So I was trying to think of the animal. She'll write. Okay, fantastic, right? She'll write a song. Absolutely, right? She'll write a song.
Owl. I will. It's owl.
Owl. Yeah.
Okay.
Owl, right? What about Laura? I'm gonna be hard on you again. What about? Let's make one with heel, if you don't mind.
He'll sing a song.
He'll sing a song. Fantastic, right? She'll write a song and he'll sing a song, right? Fantastic. So he'll sing a song, right? So what about Gregory? Gregory, can you make one with wheel? Wheel?
We're going to the movie tomorrow.
Okay, good. But we don't want to say we'll going. We have to say we'll
go to the movie tomorrow.
Fantastic, right? We'll go to the movie tomorrow, right? Fantastic. We'll go to the movies tomorrow, or the movie tomorrow. Okay, good, guys. Good, good, good. You guys all understand the will one, right? I'm trying to see, because the will is really one of those crazy ones, right? Let's do a couple of negatives, guys. These negative ones are also difficult to pronounce. For example, there are a few words that are pronunciation is difficult, right? So must not becomes mustn't. Mustn't. Can we all repeat mustn't?
Mustn't.
Mustn't. Fantastic, right? So that T
actually... like mustn't.
Mustn't, yeah. That T in must actually isn't really pronounced, right? We almost skip that T when we are doing the pronunciation. So mustn't. Mustn't, right? You guys did a good job. Mustn't is one. So I mustn't uh, stay out at night, right? I mustn't behave badly, right? Whatever. I mean, I must not behave badly. I mustn't behave badly, right? We have another one that's actually kind of crazy, and I did not know about this one actually.
Empty.
It's called. I'm sorry, Marcel. Go ahead.
Empty.
Which one is that?
I think that is empty. I don't know. Empty. Empty.
Ain't.
Yeah.
Ain't something ain't, right? So
Yeah. Ant. Yeah.
fantastic, fantastic. Laura, you guys are doing great today. I must have just bad hearing today, guys. My apologies. Uh, ain't, right? When do we use ain't, guys?
I think ain't is not grammatically correct.
You're right. It's not grammatically correct, right? Because are not is aren't, right? Is not is isn't, right? So ain't is not really grammar, it's slang, right? Where have you guys heard ain't? Maybe in a rap song?
Yeah. Song.
Probably.
Yeah. Song.
In songs, right? People say,
Yeah.
this ain't right, man. You know, like when they're singing a song, this ain't right. This isn't right is the correct way to say it, but they say this ain't right, right? So ain't is the incorrect contraction of isn't, right? Ain't is the same as isn't. So if something isn't right, something isn't good, this ain't right, this ain't good, right? And aren't, of course, is for are not, right? Are not is not. The one I was thinking of, guys, which is kind of difficult to pronounce, is ought not, right? Which is if somebody ought not to do something, right? If somebody should not do something, then that becomes oughtn't, right? Oughtn't. Actually, very, very difficult to pronounce, but we don't really see this in normal conversation. But if you can pronounce oughtn't, that's probably the hardest contraction in the book, honestly. Oughtn't, right? Ought not. He ought not to study right before his exam, right? He should not study right before his exam. He ought not to study before his exam. He oughtn't study right before his exam, right? Can we all try to pronounce this one, guys? Oughtn't.
Oughtn't.
Oughtn't. Good job. Good job. Good job, both of you guys. You listen one more time. I was talking. I'm sorry.
Autumn? Autumn.
Oughtn't. Oughtn't. Yeah. Oughtn't. Good job. Huh? Marcelo?
Audience.
Oughtn't. Right?
Audience.
Oughtn't. Yeah, good, good, good. You guys are getting there, right? This is actually some weird ones here. We have some weird phrases in English, right? And then last but not least, the two contractions I really wanted to go over were want to and got to, or I am going to. Sorry, going to, right? I am going to do something. What's the contraction again, Marcelo, for going to?
I'm gonna do something.
Fantastic, right? Let's all make a sentence with that one. Gregory, let's start with you, please.
I'm gonna to work today.
I'm gonna work today. Fantastic, right? I'm going to work today becomes I'm gonna work today, right? So this is a sentence with two contractions, right? I am becomes I'm, and going to becomes gonna. I'm gonna work today. Julissa, one from you, please.
Tomorrow is gonna be a holiday.
Tomorrow is going to be a holiday, right? Fantastic. So tomorrow is going to be a holiday becomes tomorrow is going to be a holiday. Laura, one from you, please.
I'm not gonna have dinner tonight.
I'm not going to have dinner tonight. Fantastic. I'm not going to have dinner. I'm not going to have dinner, right? And Marcelo, last but not least, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the shopping tomorrow.
I'm gonna go shopping tomorrow, or I'm gonna go to the shop tomorrow, right? So you can say one of two ways. I'm gonna go to the shop tomorrow, or the mall tomorrow, whatever, or I'm gonna go shopping tomorrow, right? Because we don't say I'm going to go to shopping. We say I'm going to go shopping, right? So
Okay.
there's no to before shopping. Yeah. But before shop or something, yeah, or the mall, the shop, yeah, we have to, right?
Okay.
Yeah, good job, guys. Any questions on any of these contractions, guys? It's pretty
No,
simple, I think. You
for
guys
you,
are,
for you, it's simple.
yeah. It's just
Just kidding.
I think some of these different types of contractions, they have different uses. You know, contractions really, like anything else in English, guys. You don't want to overuse contractions, right? If you're always trying to overuse contractions, it's not going to make as much sense, right? So it's one of these things that are it makes it easier to understand stuff when it's used sparingly, right? When we understand how to do things, we shouldn't go overboard. We shouldn't always use contractions, right? Makes it a little bit crazy. Any questions about that, guys?
No, thank
Um, I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Laura. Yeah.
Ain't is used with just is.
It's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be. Did you have another example?
No.
Oh, okay. But it's supposed to be used as a singular form of is not, right? So it's supposed to be something is not fair. This ain't fair. This ain't right. This ain't justice, man. You know, people sing about justice. This ain't justice. This ain't fair, right? People say it ain't right. It ain't right. It isn't right, right? So people who speak slang say the ain't a lot, especially in rap songs and things like that. You also hear it. But yeah, it's singular as far as I can tell, so it's the same as is not. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get onto the conversation, guys. I want to take a little bit of time and see if what you guys think about this. So we're going to talk about how a recent finding at a jail in California or somewhere. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe it was Russia. I'm getting all my articles confused. California, Russia, same thing. Actually, it was a prison in Moldova. Do you guys know where Moldova is?
Yes, I know.
Gregory, where's Moldova? Yeah.
It's historically it was part of Romania, and it's between Ukraine and Romania.
Mm-hmm.
It was part of Soviet Union, and now it's independent country.
Mm-hmm. Would you call it a poor country, Gregory, or is it a?
It's agriculture country, not so much factories. It was. I don't know now. I think it's the same.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, thank you for sharing that too, Gregory. I actually want to share two articles with you guys today, not just one, two articles, because it has a very similar theme and they're very short articles, so I think we will enjoy it. So let's get started, guys. This is the first article. It's in BBC, and we read about this is happening in Moldova, right? So I'm going to screen share as well, guys, and we'll get started. So, Cannabis Cat on Drugs Run. Cannabis Cat on Drugs Run. Collared at Moldova jail, right? Do you guys know what cannabis is, guys?
No.
Cannabis is the scientific word for marijuana, right? So this cat was carrying marijuana, and it was found, it was captured in this jail in Moldova, right? So guards at a prison in the Moldovan village of Pruncul have pounced on a cat being used to traffic bags of cannabis tied around its neck. So whoever was organizing this cannabis, they put the cannabis around the cat's neck and they sent the cat loose, right? Suspicions were raised after the small gray and white creature was spotted regularly nipping in and out of the jail through a hole in a fence, right? What does nipping means, guys?
Escape.
Nipping means to I'm sorry, Gregory, say that one more time.
Mm, no, I was not right. Right.
No, that's fine.
Steal.
Nipping actually means to bite, to make small bites. Kind of, you know how cats, when they come across something, they lick it, they try to bite it with their mouth, they try to touch it with their mouth, right? This is what this little cat was doing. It was nipping in and out of the jail through a hole in a fence. It was making the hole a little bit bigger, right? It was making a little bit bigger hole. Its oversized decorative collar turned out to contain drugs, and investigations are underway to sniff out its trainer, right? Who's the guy who trained this cat, right? We don't know. Video of the cat being searched was posted by the Justice Ministry. A cat was recently used to smuggle mobile phones into a Russian jail, right? So it's not just marijuana going out of the jail, it's also cats being used to bring in stuff into jails, right? Guards caught it climbing a fence at the jail in Syktyvkar in June, the Moscow Times reported at the time, adding a photo of the creature being held by the scruff of its neck, the phones and chargers taped to its body. Right? Somebody actually taped phones and chargers to the body of this cat and released it into the jail. Right? It was one. It was
Sorry,
just one.
what is
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
to
Julissa.
smuggle?
To
To
smuggle
smuggle
something.
mobile?
Smuggling means to bring in without permission, to import something without permission. So, for example,
To
if you are
carry.
to carry, yeah, technically to carry, right? To bring something into a country or somewhere without permission. So if you're smuggling, for example, if I smuggle, I can smuggle DVDs into Peru, right? Maybe I can take the latest Hollywood movies and smuggle them into Peru, right?
Where is this word? Smuggle.
Right here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, a cat was recently used to smuggle mobile phones into a Russian jail, right? So this time it was just one of several attempts discovered in recent years, with cats at other jails being used to deliver heroin, right? So they're using cats. It's very unusual for me, right? They used this first cat for marijuana, another cat in Russia was for mobile phones, and a third cat was also used to deliver heroin, right? Kind of crazy, right? The second article I wanted to read, guys, was this one right here. So it's on the same page. Cat arrested at Brazil prison, right? So let's read this one also. Cat arrested for break-in at Brazilian prison, right? A cat has been detained in the grounds of a jail in Brazil with contraband goods for prisoners strapped to its body with tape. The white cat was apprehended crossing the main prison gate. The incident took place at a jail in Arapiraca City, 250 kilometers southwest of Recife in Alagoas State. The confiscated items included drill bites, flies, a mobile phone, and charger, plus earphones. The cat was taken to a local animal center, right? So they found all this stuff on the cat, right? They found a mobile phone, they found earphones, they found these files and drills, drill bits, right? The jail holds some 263 prisoners.
Inside of the cat?
They taped it to the cat's body with tape. So they taped it to the outside of the cat's body with tape, yeah.
But how can a little cat carry all those things?
I don't know, poor guy,
Crazy.
right? I
Poor
know, I
It's
know.
cat.
awkward.
I know, but this is what's happening, right? So this guy, a prison spokesperson, was quoted by local paper Estado de Sao Paulo as saying, "It's tough to find out who's responsible for the action, as the cat doesn't speak." Oh my God! Somebody actually said this. It's tough to find out who's responsible for the action, as the cat doesn't speak.
Sorry.
Officials said the items could be used to effect a means of escape or for communicating with criminals on the outside. The incident took place at New Year, but the photo has only been recently released, right? So, really crazy, guys. I mean, we are looking at examples from, 4 or 5 different countries, right? Moldova, Russia, Actually, no, just three countries, but 4 or 5 different situations, right? So Moldova, Russia, Brazil, and then we saw Cat was doing mobile phones, heroin, marijuana, all kinds of things, right? What do you guys think about this? Does it come as a surprise? Is it interesting? Is it sad? What do you guys think?
Prisoners very clever as usual and have a lot of time for tricks.
Yeah.
So doing things like that or more strange.
Would you say that they are desperate,
Yeah.
right? Is it that they want to escape, or do they just need things from the outside, right? I think some prisoners just they need their drugs because maybe they're drug addicts, right? Maybe they need the heroin or the marijuana or the other stuff from the outside.
Yeah, and it's they use the drugs to sell inside of the prison too, you know.
Really?
Yeah, they use to sell.
But
They
how do they have money inside the prison? How do they sell without money?
here in Brazil there are a lot of thieves. I don't know, thieves, prisoners that have a lot of money.
Inside the prison?
Yeah, inside of the prison.
Oh, wow.
In prison, I know people say in their own rules, chief rules, and say have hierarchy, especially in Russia, and big chief and chief-in-law, say called it. So it's father of chiefs, and
Oh,
they make very strange things in prison.
wow. So yeah, I like what you said, Gregory. The jail has a hierarchy, right? There's a big thief, there's the big criminal maybe, and then all the little criminals work for the big criminal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
And
it's
they
it
have their own law there, I guess.
yeah.
they
They
have their own
have
laws.
their own law and very cruel.
But how does this go on with, I mean, what did the police do at the jail? Aren't the police supposed to be stopping crime inside the jail?
No, police don't can fight with it because it's very hard in people to get when people together they make their own life.
Hmm. They make their own rules, they make their own society almost, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. But guys, why do you think they're using cats?
because
yeah.
okay, sorry.
Using cats to smuggle.
Yeah, I don't understand why
Uh,
cats though. Why not some other kind of
to
It's
smuggle things.
very interesting creature. Say going what Kipling say going when who want, where who want. So it going to some places and people can train the cat. The
hmm.
cats.
But I would think a dog is easier, right? Aren't dogs smarter than cats?
Maybe smarter, but cat more useful in this situation.
Uh-huh.
Or more, maybe because they are more agile. They can jump, move,
Oh.
eh, escape.
Visit.
Yes,
Well,
fa
for this, I think they have they probably have been training them, right? How
hmm.
the cats know to where prisoner they have to go. How?
I don't know. Honestly, Julissa, how would they train a cat inside the prison? I really don't know how that would happen, right? They need to first find a cat that lives in the prison.
In Russia, we have a circus of cats.
Really?
Yes, it's they are very smart animal.
Russian cats, geniuses.
Not genius, but it's
I'm just joking.
any of them very smart.
Uh-huh. How do you guys think it would take a long time to train a cat? I never had a cat, so I have no idea how cats behave. I've always thought dogs are more intelligent.
Cats very selfish.
Uh-huh.
They agree they are selfish.
We just made a general statement about all cats.
Yeah.
Cats are very selfish. That's
Yes.
awesome. That's great, guys. Well, I mean, okay, so what do you guys think? Marcelo and Gregory, you guys have said a lot. What about Laura? Laura, what do you think about this? Do you guys have cats in Argentina, taking around different things, delivering messages, text messages, cell phones?
Well, I think Argentinian cats aren't so intelligent.
Not like Russian cats, right? Those Russian
Yeah.
cats, man. Those Brazilian cats, man. Smart cats, man.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But that's funny though. I mean, Laura, do you think cats are the best way to get? I mean, how long do you think this needed to happen before somebody noticed? Maybe this was going on for many weeks, maybe many months. Maybe they were sending iPhones, iPads, laptops on these cats, you know? So, I mean, what if you were the prison official? What would
They
you
have
do?
7 lives, yeah. They have
Uh-huh.
7 lives, I agree
Yeah,
with this.
maybe because of that.
Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Actually, in English, we say they have 9 lives.
9 lives?
Ah, right.
Yeah, in English, we say they have 9 lives. So I guess English cats have 9 lives.
Mhm.
Good.
No, I'm just joking. But no, cats, yeah, we have the phrase cats have 9 lives, right?
Ah, nine.
Maybe 7, maybe 9, maybe 8. 8 is the middle, right? We can choose
English
8.
cats have more lives than others.
I know. But it's funny. I just find it so funny that, here, for example, I haven't heard of animals. You know how back in the day, like Laura, have you heard in maybe many hundred years ago, they used to send pigeons, right? Little birds would fly with messages and letters and they could take to different places, right? I wonder I mean, they're using this old system to get this stuff across. I mean, do you find this interesting, Laura, or just silly?
I heard that sometimes they use people to carry, like people eat some package with drug, and they have all that drug in the stomach, and it was like pregnant, but not. It was just the drug in her belly.
No way.
So yeah, so it's like they use all what they can. A cat, I don't know, a rat maybe will be another moment.
Yeah. How did they get it out though? So this person ate the drugs, and then how did they remove the drugs then?
It's like they package the drug like is they were candies,
Oh.
so they slowly eat all those.
But then
And
did
they
they
put
did they open the person's stomach? Like, did they do surgery on the person? How did they remove the drugs after the person ate them?
I don't know.
Oh wow. That is crazy. Have you guys heard of this before? That somebody eats the drugs and then they go to the jail and then the drugs come out? Do they maybe have to go to the bathroom? I mean, I don't get it. Like, this is a very difficult thing, right? I mean,
Well, it's not for going to the jail. Is they travel to a country to another.
oh, okay. Wow. So they're very smart about this then.
Oh yeah, it's all a system.
They
That is
usually, they
crazy.
usually, they usually put drugs too in the private parts of women too. You know what I mean?
Really? No way.
Yeah, in Brazil it happens.
That is
How
ridiculous.
people risk themselves, right? Just for money.
Yeah. There was a crazy story here in the United States. What they do here is, for example, there's a big shipment of drugs coming from Mexico, right? Maybe like a huge, maybe like 300, 400 pounds of marijuana are coming from Mexico. So they send two guys. They send two guys, right? One guy, when they're at the border, they're about to enter the U.S. One guy automatically says, "Yes, I have drugs. I'm sorry," or whatever, right? He has drugs clearly in his car. So when the police are near him, they see the drugs and they say, "Okay, you're under arrest. We are going to arrest you. You have drugs." So that guy sacrifices himself, right? That first guy sacrifices himself. When the first guy sacrifices himself, maybe near him, because all the police are focused on him, another much larger truck enters the country, right? With all the marijuana, with like maybe 500 pounds of marijuana, right? So, and then they reward the guy who sacrifices himself. Maybe he stays in jail in the U.S. for, I don't know, 10 years or something. But when he leaves, he gets a house, he gets a car, he gets the rest of his life is made because he helped the drug lords one time before, and spent 10 years in jail or something like that. So I've heard cases like that where they're not really trying to kill themselves or eat drugs and then carry them into another country, but they act as a distraction so that when the police are focusing on them, a much larger shipment is also entering the country at the same time, right? And it's difficult because I mean, I think, Marcelo, you're saying the right thing. It's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Not the point, but the tip of the iceberg. Right. What do you mean by that, Marcelo?
Okay, the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
As we are saying, right? As we are saying here, it's just the tip of the iceberg because there are a lot of things. There are another ways that people, the druggers, can put the drug inside of the prison.
Mm-hmm. It's very sad. I mean.
Yeah, not just through cats, putting into the cats. There are another ways. Put inside the woman, or like she said, she said that another way to put the drugs in the prison. She has already told us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, guys, what can we do to stop this kind of thing? Like, Gregory, if you were running the prison, what would you do? Would you increase more security? I mean, tell all your guards, hey, look for cats, look for animals, those kinds of things also? I mean, what would you do?
Sure, I was do it. It's very important thing. And prison was to be closed completely because some influence may bring a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Some penetration to prison make bring a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So you would actually maybe close down the jail and you would say maybe search everything, search everybody, right?
Yes. So,
Uh-huh.
there is a rules and guard should be execute the rules.
Mm-hmm. The guards should be executing the rules. No, absolutely. Julissa, let's say you are running this jail, right, or running another jail. What would you do to stop this kind of stuff? Or, I mean, would it be possible to stop this kind of stuff? Maybe it's not possible.
Maybe one thing to do could improve the tools that we use inside to have more
Mm-hmm.
security. Maybe we can put more cameras to see who is doing what.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to put more security guards or people to check each of
Mm-hmm.
each jail.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I wonder if it's inside, maybe these prisoners are also paying perhaps some of the bodyguards or security people for being
Mm-hmm.
silent, for not saying anything. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows?
So then that's a great point, Julissa. Would you maybe also look at your staff very closely, the prison staff? Maybe the ones who are suspicious, maybe you can investigate those people, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah. It's interesting because they, I think that's a big problem. I think inside the prison, there have to be people, I'm sorry, there has to be people in the prison who are turning a blind eye to this kind of stuff, right? In English, when we say somebody is turning a blind eye, that's like saying that they're not paying attention on purpose, right? They're seeing it happening, they're not saying anything. They're turning a blind eye, right? Because maybe they're getting money, maybe they're getting some kind of benefit. Or, Julissa, what's another possibility that of somebody not saying something?
Maybe because of fear. There could be people outside who can do or hurt the families of the security guards.
Yeah,
They are not,
absolutely.
the prisoners are not alone. Outside, they have contacts. It's all
Hmm.
a network.
It's a
Net.
big network. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Those are some great points, Julissa. Laura, what would you do? Let's say you have your own prison. Would you do some of the same things we heard from Julissa, or would you maybe? This is what I would do. I would put a machine gun on every like wall, right? I would put mines. I would put cat traps. I would put lasers. You know, I'm just joking. I'm just joking, guys. Laura, go ahead. What would you do? I'm sorry.
Uh, well, I think that Shalisa is right. Is maybe the guards that are not so honest.
Not so
So
honest, huh?
maybe
Exactly.
so that is I think that is the main problem. The main problem.
Uh-huh.
Mm, I don't know. Maybe to check to make medical checks to the prisoners to know if they are consuming drugs.
Hmm. That's
So
a good thing.
if they have drugs in their body and their blood, it's because the drug is going in the shell in some way. So
Uh-huh. No, absolutely right. Those are great points, right? And maybe what I would do is, actually, no, Marcelo, I'll let you say first. If you were the jail, the main person in the jail, in English we call him the warden, right? The warden is kind of the chief of the jail, the head police officer in a jail, right? So, let's say Marcelo, you are the warden of a jail, right? What would you do? I mean, what would be your step to bring discipline into the jail? Any idea, Marcelo? Oh, I think the warden left. Oh no, he's there.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do because it's difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's difficult to open a door to solve this kind of problem because they
Yeah.
are always figuring out other ways to put the drug inside of the prison. So
Mhm.
it's very difficult. I really don't know what to do.
Yeah. Is it a
Yeah.
problem that will continue as long as I think we have maybe corruption in our system, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think Jaleesa, what you were saying before, that might be because of corruption, right? Maybe some of these jail security guards, right? They might not be honest, because of corruption. They don't get
Yeah,
paid. They have fear for their families. Maybe. I mean, who knows, right?
I definitely agree with you. Corruption, a lot of corruption, a lot of money inside it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was there anything else you guys wanted to say about this? I know we looked at two articles and we used a lot of we used a lot of contractions, but were there any other questions you guys had about this? I was very surprised that there were all of these situations they used cats. That was the biggest thing for me. But I think one of the things that you guys said, I think Julissa, you said cats are very very agile or agile. You could pronounce it both ways, right? And they can move very quickly. They can dig underground. They can go through small spaces, right? Maybe those are the reasons that they use cats. But I mean, poor cats, right? I mean, do you think these cats will go to jail also?
Hopefully, they don't kill them. That would be really sad.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to kill them, honestly, but maybe what they can do, you know what I would do is maybe put some tracking like device, maybe a GPS on these cats to see where they go, right? I mean, I would make it a secret. I wouldn't tell everybody, hey, we found a cat that had marijuana. No, I would catch the cat secretly, take all the stuff, take all the marijuana, all the mobile phones, and just put a very small GPS maybe inside the cat. Maybe put it in the cat food. The cat can eat the cat food. Now the GPS is inside the cat, right? Anywhere it goes, we know where it's going. So we can get the destination or we can get the origin of the cat, right? We can track the cat and track the bad guys, right? I think that's
Maybe
a,
after take out the drugs inside the cat, maybe they make a barbecue with the cat. Eh? It's
make
possible.
make a barbecue of the
Oh,
cat.
Yeah.
Well, I know some cultures eat cat, but I don't think Russia or Brazil they eat cats.
no, Russian, no.
I know they eat cats in Korea and I think Mongolia also. So
Dogs,
Yes.
dogs
Is
I
it
know.
natural?
About cat I don't know.
yeah, dogs
Ever
also in
they
Korea, absolutely.
can you find it in the restaurants in Korea, you said?
Yeah, you can find dog in the restaurants in Korea, yeah.
It's crazy.
And cat they sell here also. There was a Mongolian restaurant. I went to a Mongolian restaurant and the family next to us was having cat.
Have you already eaten
No, hell no.
it?
Never. I would never eat that stuff. I mean, to me cats are pets, but it's
Mongolian eat horses.
people do eat horses. Yeah, Mongolians also eat horses, yeah. Here we actually have people also eat horses here. It's illegal, but people find it here. People also eat alligators and frogs. Frogs are actually popular. I've had frog legs before.
Frogs
They
is
say
French,
Fro-
French very famous meal.
yeah, frog legs definitely. And in Mexico, some parts of Mexico, they eat ants also. Very delicious, apparently. I have not heard that. I have not tasted it, but they eat ants.
What is it?
Ants, like the little bugs, the tiny little bugs, ants.
Ah, cool.
Mexicans. So what they do is they take maybe the ants, they fry them, and they put chocolate ants. Yeah.
Disgusting.
People also eat grasshoppers. Grasshoppers are also pretty delicious, actually, from what I've heard. But yeah, anyway, guys, enough talking about food, right? Cat barbecue. Next class is going to be about cat barbecue, Marcelo, right?
cat barbecue.
No, I'm
Great.
just joking.
Very
I was just
beautiful.
joking. I was just joking. It's not going to be about that. But anyway, guys, any other questions, guys, about this class? Anything interesting? Anything fun? Anything silly?
Thank you for class.
Of course, Gregory. It's
Great.
always a pleasure.
Good
Interesting.
night.
Thank you. Of course.
Interesting
Good
man.
night to you as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. I have another one right
Amazing.
now. I
Yeah.
have another one right now. Another
See
one right now.
you.
All right.
It's
See you guys.
awesome class.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Hey, Julissa, how's it going?
Hey, Farhan. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Things are good. Just had a good day today. Didn't go out at all today, unfortunately, because it was
Why
raining.
not? Today is Halloween for you.
I know, but I have Colingo and it's raining, so it's not a good day to be out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I didn't buy any chocolate
Here,
or anything for anybody.
Hello, Farhan. Hello, Yulisa. Nice to see
hello,
you.
Gregory.
Nice to
Yeah,
see you.
good to see you as well.
It's interesting about this Halloween. We don't have.
Yeah.
We have something like that. Purim, Jewish Purim.
Uh-huh, Purim, uh-huh, yeah. I've heard about Purim, but there's no costumes, right?
Yes, it's costumes.
Oh, it has costumes as well. Oh,
Yes, it's terrible costumes.
terrible costumes. How are they terrible?
Um, very terrible.
Let me see what Purim is about. Oh, terrible maybe because they're historic? Are they?
Yes, it's historic, is Attic tradition.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right. So I think that's a picture right there, maybe. Um, Teatro Żydowski, something like that.
Ah, yes, we make celebrate some show.
Uh-huh. Oh, this is really funny. This is a great costume also. This is in the street of Jerusalem. It acts scared. That's the best
Uh,
because the kids think that they're actually scaring everybody. So it's funny.
yeah.
It's funny stuff. But is it popular to have kids trick or treat in Peru and in South America?
I don't know if in other countries, but here, yes. I think this is an influence from the American culture,
Uh-huh.
and especially for kids. Yeah, kids, they ask their parents to buy them their customs. They want to go out. But here, the funny thing is that kids don't go and tell trick or treat. They just go and say Halloween, 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 and
That's
then
funny.
the owners of the stores or uh, the people who is ready, they give them candies.
Uh-huh. So do they go from house to house or do they go from store to store in Lima, for example?
They, they mostly go to stores. Yeah.
Really?
There
Okay.
is not the tradition. Yeah, because in houses, no, the people is not so used to give candies. It's more from the stores,
Yeah, that makes sense because here
supermarkets.
here it's 100% houses. People come to the kids come to each house and they.
Oh, here when I was coming from work, I've been walking for all the avenue that is near my house, and almost all the kids have been with their customs. How do you
Hmm.
call it?
With their costumes,
With
yeah?
their yeah, asking for candy. So it's nice. There were some little kids that were in costumes of oranges or princess. They are cute.
Yeah, princesses are the most common for girls. I remember when I was, I think, 5 or 6 years old, I was Superman, and then the next year after that, I was Batman. Just all these different superheroes.
Superhero.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
it's
my
kind of
my brother,
crazy.
I remember him. Yeah, but it's part of the. It's when you are a child, it's like an illusion that you have to wear your costume, to go out, to receive candy.
Exactly, exactly. And we felt so empowered. We felt so powerful that day because sometimes, you know what feels even more powerful is if when the little kids try to scare an adult and the adult, they ring the bell, and then when the person opens the door, they say trick or treat.
Uh-huh. I've seen that in the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Really nice.
It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fun. Some parents, like my mom, was very she's very concerned about children and they if they eat sugary snacks and bad food. So she used to give them different kinds of like nutritious like little bars, like little nutritious bars. And then she tried that one year The next year, nobody came to the house. I, I guess all the kids told each other, avoid that house because the lady gives you fruits and nuts instead of
Oh my,
chocolate. So they all
yeah.
avoided my house. I think this year my mom, or since that time, my mom always gives candy, but she doesn't like that kids are eating so much candy maybe in one day. I mean, I don't know. I did it when I was a kid.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's once a year, so
it's fine. Yeah. I don't know why she's crazy like that. Sometimes she gets crazy and she's very health conscious. No, I'm going to buy these kids, nutritious snacks. No, it's not going to work.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Gregory, how's it going?
Hello.